Hello, and welcome to Fish and Norse News. I'm here, my co-anchor, Norse Shadow.
Hello.
And the first story is... Personally my favourite, there has been a new Rollercoaster Tycoon revealed. Pipeworks Software Studio, makers of such games as Devil May Cry and Wheel of Fortune, are creating Rollercoaster Tycoon 4, which, like all the other Rollercoaster Tycoon games, puts players in charge of a theme park, which you put in rides, shops, etc., etc., and especially massive roller coasters. You manage every part of it, including maintenance, customer happiness, and overall construction. This newest instalment will mean it makes it multiplayer. So, Alex, what do you think?
Well, I haven't really played any of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, but I know I do. One thing I do love about various games is playing like simulation games, and I'm fairly certain Roller Coaster Tycoon 4 it's evolved in Roller Coaster Tycoon series has evolved over time. So I think this one could be one to watch.
I mean, there are many Roller Coaster Tycoon games, such as 1, 2, Gold Edition, 3, Wet and Wild, the expansion packs for all of those. They're all pretty good.
What's necessarily different about this game compared with all the others?
Well, there's multiple new features, such as
what's different from, say, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and that people who've played Roller Coaster Tycoon before.
Well, basically, it's obviously going to be a lot more graphically enhanced.
So, say for example, if someone falls off a roller coaster, they're going to experience a lot more blood and gore, and they're going to be people laughing manically when things go wrong.
Roller Coaster 3.
Because if I'm honest, what I tend to do in stuff like simulation games, if I have sufficient amount of money, I'll usually. In this sounds like the sort of game where I just intentionally build a ride where I intentionally want to try and kill people. That's not saying in real life I would try and do that if I was in charge of a theme park, but this is a computer game, so it's slightly different.
Well, the Roller Coaster Tycoon series is actually it lets you build these rides which just crash and lets people be flown all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's one of those games which, if there is a crash, it's not going to be blood and gory because they are generally aimed at children.
They should do a mod for that.
They probably will. But I mean, if you look at Roller Coaster Tycoon, which I've actually bought, it's 3+.
If people are watching this and you're computer programmers, get to work on a mod for Roller Coaster Tycoon 4 where there is consistently more blood and gore.
They're for 3-year-olds, so that's not going to happen. But like you were saying, one of the biggest things is definitely the thing that you can actually cooperate with 4 other players. So you can just make it massive.
That's going to be a nightmare. If you have to cooperate with people to build a theme park, you're going to have at least one person who's going to deliberately try and ruin the attempts of another.
And of course, one of the main things which will please many of the...
Because I know some games which have multiplayer functions and they've just completely ruined the game experience. Like 2048, they released the multiplayer experience. I have not the faintest idea of what to do in multiplayer.
No, but this will be microtransaction free, which is again a brilliant point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second story is new hack for Zelda Ocarina of Time makes Waluigi a playable character. One of the most classic Zelda games, Ocarina of Time, can now be played as Waluigi, who is Luigi's arch-nemesis. This is known as the Waluigi of Time hack, which has been shown on YouTube, and is applied to both the child and adult versions of Link. Alex, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I love playing hacks of various games. So this one I think will probably be fairly hotly anticipated. I haven't played in a game as Waluigi. I've played in a game as Wario, but not as Waluigi. So I think I've been keeping my eye on this one.
As we know, Waluigi made his first debut in 2000's Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color,
yeah.
And Nintendo 64 as a doubles partner with Wario, who is again the evil version of Mario.
If you ever play Mario Kart Double Dash, don't ever have Waluigi at the back and steer with Waluigi. repetitively, left and right, because just don't do it.
Games tips with Norse Shadow.
Thank you.
Anyway, so yeah, he's been in most Mario games. He's been in more and more. He's been in all the most Mario sports games, the
He's been
Mario
in all-
Kart series, and
Yeah.
the Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, as well
Wait,
as
they
Super
have a
Smash
da- they-
Brothers. And
Hang on. They have a Dance Revolution Mario mix.
They do indeed.
So is that where you just dance and the character on the screen is Waluigi?
Yes.
I had no idea this game was available.
He's also coming from such games as Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U.
It's on more titles than just the 3DS and the Wii U.
Yeah, it's on
Super Smash Bros.
almost every single console.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've personally played Ocarina of Time. I have it on GameCube, which is unfortunate because I can't play as Waluigi.
You can play it on the Wii.
But I think whoever made this deserves a medal.
You, sir, are a legend.
I just love games which put other characters into it. I mean, admittedly, some games, like if they put it into, I don't know, Silent Hill and put, I don't know, like, you know, Cream from Sonic into it, make it slightly less
Well, you could put
serious.
Or you could do the joke around, like have some serious moment in Silent Hill where you're about to open the door to one of the areas and just have the tune of a Rooftop Run from Sonic.
Or I've
Playing.
got a lovely bunch of coconuts. They're all sitting in a row. Dum, dum, dum.
You just picture that, just opening the door and just someone going running around at the speed of sound.
That's not that's City Escape.
No, that isn't City Escape. That's Rooftop Run,
Oh, okay.
isn't it?
No, City Escape.
I'll clarify that.
I'll put it on at the end, and then
Okay.
we'll know.
Okay.
Okay, so the third story is... Surprise, surprise, another Call of Duty game, and this time with an interesting selling point. As many of you know, the Call of Duty franchise has sort of got out of hand in the last few years. And so, to sell these new games, the new Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, is releasing an Xbox One bundle, which, including a digital Day Zero edition of it, so you can get a 1 day head start, is also introducing a hard drive of 1 terabyte, which is as much as both my computers added together. So, Alex, what do you think of this?
Personally, I'd agree with you, Max. The Call of Duty franchise have kind of just gone a bit too far, so to speak, with its gaming. I don't know whether or not that's because they release a new game like every single year, but it just seems so old now. Like with stuff like the Elder Scrolls, they release a new game like every 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Releasing a new game year after year after year, you're just going to get people bored and tired of it, I think.
I mean, many of the Call of Duty games they're okay.
So some of them are okay, but then others you just think you've gone over the top.
For example, Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, they were all generic first-person shooters. Call of Duty 4, possibly the best Call of Duty game, which made a massive leap from Call of Duty 3. Added kill streaks, which is basically the only reason I play Call of Duty. And
Was that the first Call of Duty you had?
That's I never actually had that.
You never had?
I had it on Wii, but on Wii it's not great.
Well, I think in on the Nintendo Wii they usually edit some of the levels out.
Yeah, but you know. And then, basically kind of going Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 2. They never made a World of War 2 probably because I thought it was a crap game, personally, I think.
Well, they had Nazi zombies.
Apart from Nazi zombies, which is,
So it's not terribly bad, but that's kind of its one redeeming feature.
Probably the only redeeming feature of it. So, I think this is basically just another way to sell it. Of course, it will have better graphics with the Xbox One engine.
It's like
this is one console, but
it's like with certain things like FIFA. You know, you've played FIFA.
Yeah, I play FIFA.
People only really get it just for the updated graphics. They don't really get it for anything else. Because if you have one game of FIFA, then you don't necessarily need to get another.
Recently, the new FIFAs like FIFA 14, FIFA 15, FIFA 13, and 12, I think, that added the store.
That added like you manage your own team.
Yeah, you buy
so
your
that
players.
Various things were edited, yeah.
But that again included microtransactions, which, like I've already said, in other games, kind of sometimes ruins them.
If I wanted to do like a manager thing, then I guess I would go just with Football Manager.
Yeah,
the
you
Football
could.
Manager series, because that's more like in depth and gives you a more immersive managerial experience.
That is really in depth, which I've heard from many people.
Yeah,
it's for me. It's possibly too in depth.
I think it's great. I played the handheld versions of Football Manager 12 and 14, and I think they're great.
Yeah, I didn't play that. I played Harry Potter Quidditch, but that's about the same thing. I'd say.
They released a game for that?
Harry Potter Quidditch, yeah, they did.
Wow.
Anyway, I think we're getting a bit off topic here. That was the segue right there. Okay, well, thank you for listening, and here are today's unusual stories in Norse's News Corner.
One of my favourite news stories this week is in Shenzhen province in southern China, where it's in comparison, both you and I, Max, we both drive, and we both have the usual annoying motorist who usually has their lights on behind us, which usually dazzle us in the mirror, so we can't see a thing.
Yeah.
What police in China are doing is they're getting people who do said offence, so flash their lights in people's eyes so that they can't see. They take them out, they sit them in front of the police van, and they make them stare at the police van with full main beam headlights on for 5 minutes. And even better still, what they also do is they make them pay a 300 yuan fine and a lecture, get given a lecture from the police.
A 301...
A yuan fine, which it's roughly around about £30.
That's not much, but still, the dazzling headlight. That's pretty.
Why don't we do that in this country?
Because it's against human rights.
Screw human rights. In this case, anyway.
Yeah. Well, as you said, we both personally know this kind of experience.
We both drive, so.
Personally, I haven't passed a driving test yet, but you know.
Yeah, but you drive, don't you?
I do drive, yes.
Yeah,
and
so
that's what's happened. I drove today, actually.
Yeah.
A Jeep.
Did you have any annoying drivers?
A Jeep with one of those massive headlights on came along.
Did it have a faulty light?
It had full beams on.
It had full beam on.
Well, not full beam, you know. Broad daylight.
Broad day. Must have been a dark area driving through. I had a person overtake me on a blind bend, and it's never a good idea to overtake a learner when I was learning to drive. It's never a good idea to overtake a learner driver on a blind bend because there was a bus coming in the other direction.
Yeah.
He very nearly got hit by it. Anyhow, going back on topic, I've got two other news stories which didn't quite make the cut as my favourite news story this week, but I thought they were so good, I thought they were just worth mentioning. The first one, you won't believe this, Max, is that a man in Japan has tamed a lethal giant hornet and has tied a piece of string round its thorax.
Well, it's always in Japan, isn't it? Japan or America, there's lots of places where this kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, but these hornets are massive. They're like the size of your thumb.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them.
Huge. Yeah.
And the other news story?
The other news story, if I can just get that one open, is in an area in the northern part of Germany. I think it's Schleswig, Schleswig-Holstein, that sort of area. Beaches there have either banned the building of sandcastles or they've limited the height of sandcastles.
What is the reason for that?
Well, one of the reasons given on one of the resorts is that there's a risk of people tripping over them in the dark.
Well, you know,
unless you're drunk and wandering around the beach, because I'm fairly certain most beaches over here, do most beaches usually have closing time over here? Like a time you can't.
There is no closing time on beaches.
Why not?
On some resorts there are.
Yeah, in some resorts.
But I'm pretty sure there's no specific closing time. But if there is a resort, then they would have lights.
Yeah, in
anyway.
One of the resorts in Germany, there's a risk of people tripping over them in the dark.
Well, I don't know. I've never been on holiday in Germany.
I've been there once. I've only been to Berlin, so I haven't been to the seaside, so I wouldn't know about this.
The seaside.
Yes, the seaside in Germany. Serious side. Apparently, they say the beaches need to be kept clear for ambulance cases. And
I suppose that's a good point.
Yeah, apparently this get this. One 10-year-old boy died in a coastal resort when he fell into a hole. When a meter deep hole he dug up that day collapsed on top of him.
Right.
How do you do that?
Well, you know, when building sandcastles, you must make sure they're structurally sound.
What, do you just get like a safety planner coming in and thinking, you shouldn't build a sandcastle there, it's not structurally sound?
Precisely.
Remember, kids, if you're building a sandcastle, this is important advice. Take it on board. Take it on board.
So, okay. Well, next week, join us for more funny stories from Norse's News Corner. And also join us for more game stories featuring them from all the latest consoles, including PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Thank you, and goodbye.